Hey, this is Ryan from Disruptarian Radio. So, I wanted to talk about why I started VeracityIntegrity.com, Veracity Integrity LLC, for lie detection and sincerity detection. And so I am building a platform, a interface, so to speak, a way to plug in to AI that will allow multiple algorithms to be ran concurrently and analyzed concurrently by AI. So this is my plan. I'm not going to work on the actual algorithms for lie detection, but I am, just to be fully transparent, I am making a hub or a interface for multiple lie detection algorithms to be connected, and then hopefully through like an API type of system, a little more complicated than an API, it can take that data and aggregate numbers and statistics from that data. Anyway, beyond the technicalities of what Veracity Life does, or Veracity Integrity, it used to be Veracity Life, but I've lost that domain. So Veracity Integrity, what it is about is not just detecting true or false or the basics, but like a level of sincerity, a measurement of sincerity. Is it 80% sincere? Is it 50% sincere? Lie detection is you're either telling the truth or you're failing to tell the truth. And I don't think that's accurate, because I think the variabilities in sincerity in humanity, could mean that, your intentions are true. You're telling the truth on the basic facts or the underlying, reasoning, but you've inflated something with a white lie, or you have, exaggerated something or whatever, but the fundamentals are true. So there's a level of sincerity. Maybe that is a 60% sincere reading, not 100%, and then you gauge things on a more dynamic metric that is configured to small details and small measurements. And so there was a meme that I read recently on Facebook, and I said, I don't mind a thief as much as I do a liar. A thief just wants my wallet. A liar wants my soul. And there are people out there who actually just live like this. This is their main occupation, is shifting truth and, playing angles and calculating results and things like that. You know what I mean? Like, based on their lies, based on their misinformation or their redirection of truth. So, I think that's a pathetic way to live life. And there's so many people who are, my dad used to do it, right? And 90% of the time he meant no harm, but he would exaggerate everything. He would be like, oh yeah, I own 20 acres there, and I own a house here, and I own this there, and I own that there. And he was just trying to keep up with the billionaires in our neighborhood. I saw it. He was, he was afraid of looking like less of a man in a crowd of giants. But it was his lifestyle. Like, he would lie about things that he didn't need to lie about. He would tell me, just things. Simple, non-essential things about, non-essential events or whatever. And he never had malicious intent. Well, he rarely had malicious intent. This is what I loved about my father. He was a good man. He was a sweet man. He was a funny man, so funny. And he had his own little insecurities. And that's why people lie, is over insecurities. But I have had family members who have malicious intent, and they lie as a lifestyle, and they hurt people constantly, and they never stop. And whether it's a benign, non-essential issue, or whether they're, playing an angle to hurt somebody or to get something out of somebody. There are those type in my family. And then in like a personal relationship of mine, the longest relationship I've ever had, I was with somebody who wasn't a liar by nature. Like, wasn't one of these that had to lie for a living, but would lie and would stretch the truth or exaggerate. And often it was in critical times where she had to actually just get her way, period, end of story. And she was kind of bully like that. But 90% of the time, I could trust her word. And 10% of the time, I couldn't. And the times that I couldn't is when it mattered the most. And this is why I ended that relationship. But like it said in that meme, a thief just wants your wallet. A liar wants your soul. And if they repaint my life through their lies, and maybe another person takes on that same belief or theory as opinion of their own, and multiple people do. I mean, they're slowly stealing my soul. So veracity, integrity, I think would help a lot of people. I mean, look at all the hell Donald Trump has gone through. Look at all the hell, like that Russian collusion thing. That was all a lie. It was proven to be a lie. Nobody went to jail, but that dossier, that Steele dossier, all of that stuff was fake. And it was a lie, and it was malicious, and it was intended to hurt that man. Look at Elon Musk being accused of this, being accused of that. Look at all these people that have a lot to lose when their reputation is stained. And people who are staining their reputation have a lot to gain by staining their reputation. I think those people, those billionaires, for example, would stand to gain a lot by creating this kind of technology. I keep saying software, but it's way more than that. There's a physical presence of this measurement tool too. It's like a digital measuring tape. You know what I mean? But instead of measuring inches or feet or meters or whatever, it's measuring sincerity. So I have big goals. I have very small amounts of funds. My funding is nearly nothing. But thanks to AI, I'm able to program at lightning speeds. I'm programming 10 times, 50 times as fast as I used to in some cases, depending on what I'm programming. If it's simple, ChatGPT does most of it for me. If it's complex, ChatGPT pulls about 60% of the weight, but it does it so much faster than I used to do. By writing just bullshit syntax, that I would have to write. It's just libraries, just little, context and, or prefix and suffix syntax or whatever. It's generic libraries, and ChatGPT just blows through all that. I don't have to sit and mess with it. So thank God for that. And I am making progress. I mean, I've been working on this for 13 years. The first video I made about this was in 2014. Oh, so it's been 10 years. Okay. So it's been 10 years since I launched my first attempt at this, my first, time of my life where I was able to section a couple of months off and start working on this foundation. So I started that in 2014. I let it go because we were so busy with hurricanes and natural disasters and whatever. So I'm picking it back up now. I lost my finger recently. I may or may not get a settlement for that. I don't know. I've got a lawyer looking into the environment of the business and, whether or not, there was, proper safety and, anyway, it could go either way. There's no guarantee, but if I do get funded, and it's a couple million, and it probably will be, if I do win this, then I'll fund most of it, but I still need about 20 million. So I'll put my 2 or 3 million, whatever I get, forward. I'll buy a house, and then of course, whatever's left over, I'll put into the business. But I'll do a fundraising drive at that point. I was going to do it this year, but I don't have anything to contribute yet. And there's no end in sight for a lawsuit. So it hasn't even begun yet. So I have no, confirmed date of which I will have any money to contribute myself. So if I can't contribute money, I'm not going to go fundraise and ask other people for money. I want to put my money where my mouth is, and I have no money. So maybe someday soon I'll have money, and I will do that. Until then, I am going to keep building, and I'm going to make something that's usable, a foundation interface that's usable. And even if I have to sell it to somebody like Elon Musk, for example, somebody who might be interested in this, just think of the billions that would be made, the trillions that would be made off of this, especially if it was a consumer product. If you could just go, pay $50 at Walmart and get one of these, and, it analyzes there's something called the Pendant. I can't remember what it was called, but it does this too. It does transcriptioning. It runs it through Google Translate or something and transcribes it from, it can be just English, or you can translate it from English to another language, or from another language to English, or, whatever. And then it will keep transcripts. And with that, it also is like recording the voice. So it's like the perfect kind of platform for running that, or a phone, an Android. But this little pendant thing, it just goes around your neck. It's this little device, and it just picks up your speech as you're speaking. And with some lie detection techniques, that is enough. But I think we'd get a lot more out of an Android device. So that's what I'm building this for now. And then I might migrate it into a little device you can pick up at Walmart. But just think, if people were paying $50, $100 a pop to have guaranteed lie detection, or nearly perfect lie detection technology that helps save them a lot of time and grief and heartache, I think everybody's going to want one. So these people who might buy this or build this, either way, I'm good with it. They could find that this is $1 trillion treasure. That this is. Shit, I better go. I gotta drive. But I think that this will be a thing in the next 5 to 10 years, where it's a consumer product and most everybody will have one. It's just like AI. They're saying they should regulate it. We should, make sure it's safe and all that, and not let it get too far. The cat's out of the bag. The genie's out of the lamp.